Golf today?
Not today. Not today now.
How'd you know I was in there?
You get the plush seat and you
Yeah?
I know, not at all. I learned now. I learned.
Hi. Wow. I didn't know. How are you?
Coach, you gotta admit it does feel weird being around all these many Cruces people.
We love him too. No,
This is my baseball player, Coach. Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, I've sat and talked to him.
Yes, you
A
have.
lot of ball games.
Yes, you have.
Jeff.
Right here, man. It's your boy. Hi, Paul. Hey, Carlos. How are you?
doing?
That's okay. No. It's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
That was good. Hey, Coach Thompson. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
5'9" on the Johnny. Hey, Coach. How you doing? What are you up to? Man, I wish I was.
I barely got through that gate right there.
Figured somebody were to come catch us on film. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nick, biggest guy we have.
Right now. I talked to him 3 days ago. He lives it. No, he lives it.
But I'm still working, man.
I talked to my neighbor. He said,
I have a picture for you too.
Hey, what's up with this guy over here?
what are you doing, man?
I talked to him yesterday.
We have it here for you.
He's the only guy I know that hit all in the ditch. I told I bought a couple. I talked to some people that didn't work out. Coach Bradley, did you play under him or with him or what? Yeah, Jim. He lives over here. Westmore. Westmore and with him, yes.
Hits a double to the wall, slides in, head first up.
That's the one that was fighting out there.
Oh, wasn't Coach Harrison playing golf?
Guys, if you want to start coming over here.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
We love you, Coach. Thank you for everything. It's all good. You guys part of this shenanigan? How are you?
We used to be. Well, I guess we are Bulldogs.
Because I know Jamie was
Bulldogs from the get-go.
It's hard.
He's doing good. He won't quit working. My brother told me
Were they
Department of Energy. He says he's going to work till he's 75.
We'll send this to me.
No, he's not rich.
She showed me.
I asked him, I said, "I'll take you a lot of times. What's your name?" He said, "Shit, I can't find the best part." I got the goosebumps.
Like I told Charlie, someone that can kill this dude.
Yeah, no, he didn't set me on the right path, but at least he was a father figure.
How you doing,
Good
man?
to see you.
No?
Dude, nobody can set me on the right path.
tried to.
He's still not on the right path.
Most unathletic official ever meet right here. Who? Paul. Have you met Have you ever met the most least athletic human being?
I've heard him an awful lot. I don't know about that. I think I heard him before I met him.
Bro, he's got the strongest vocal cords in the country.
I've heard him before.
This guy can bench press with his vocal cords.
The best at self-promotion.
If his vocal cords were pectoris muscles,
He's in the Hall of Fame.
the Schwarzenegger of talking.
I've been there twice.
Dang, Coach Graham.
What's up, Steve? He's up here, sir.
He said, "What's up, Stick?"
What's up, Steve? Stick, I just make it.
That's where you got the nickname.
It's funny because my buddy starts an outreach coach. I always see my shit. This is my house.
Hey, Coach, afterward, we can get this off. You want to say a few words? If you want to at the moment, it's available for you. That's all I wanted to tell you. Okay? So if the mood strikes you,
Yeah, dude, we gotta do a selfie. I gotta do a selfie with Coach Graham.
I'm sure he'll
Can't even lie to these people. They know me pretty well. I know you, John.
I'd like to welcome you to the field dedication ceremony. My name's Gil Padilla, head baseball coach here at Las Cruces High School. Thank you for showing up, especially on an all-star night in Major League Baseball. What fitting to dedicate this field to an all-star coach in person.
That's right.
First off, I want to say thank you to Ms. Ranga, our current principal, Ms. Moda, and Mr. Gomez, who are the assistant principals and athletic director for the school. So thank you for coming out here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the process of how we got here. It took a little while, but first off, I want to say thanks to Coach Lopez. For about 3 to 4 years ago, he came up with this idea. I say 3 to 4 years ago, and we're standing here now for reality. He asked, how about naming it after Coach Graham? I said, I think that's a great idea. Was very much in support of it. We asked the administrators at that time, Mr. Handy and Mr. Campos, who were the school administrators. They were also very much in support of it, but they also informed me about the process that it's got to take. As part of that process, Coach Lopez and I continue to ask the Las Cruces coaches community, the Las Cruces community itself about it, getting it done. Petitions were signed throughout the community in support of this. And on May 15, 2018, Las Cruces School Board unanimously passed the renaming of Las Cruces High School baseball field to the Dave Graham baseball field.
All right.
Now a little bit about history about Coach Graham. There's a lot. I won't go through all of it. Coach Dave Graham, graduate of Heron, Illinois, where he lettered in football, basketball, baseball, and track. That's 4 sports. After high school, he joined the U.S. Air Force, which brought him to southern New Mexico. He attended New Mexico State University, completed his bachelor's degrees in physical education in 1961, and Master's of Arts in Teaching in 1964. Coach Dave Graham's teaching and coaching career spans over 5 decades. He began in 1961 at Lynn Junior High, where he taught physical education, coached football, basketball, and track. In 1963, he moved to Las Cruces High School, where he was an assistant basketball and baseball coach under Hall of Fame coaches Lou Henson and Jim Bradley. In 1965, he became the head coach of Las Cruces High School, where he would remain for 27 years. He retired from coaching baseball in 1992 and retired from teaching in 1994. He would continue to help Las Cruces High School as an assistant golf coach years following his retirement. In his 27 years as a head coach at Las Cruces High School, Coach Graham won over 600 games. In 2002, he was inducted into the New Mexico High School Coaches Hall of Honor. In 2010, he was also inducted into the New Mexico Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. And the list goes on and on and on, with all the accolades of local, state, regional, and national. We'd be here all night if I had to go through all that list. Coach Graham definitely meets the criteria of a local legend. It is through Coach Graham's dedication and love of sports that has brought him the respect and love of many. Coach Dave Graham continues to be one of the biggest Bulldog supporters. You can sometimes see him at some of these games and events. He also stops by the school or calls the coaching staff to see how the dogs are doing. Coach Graham also helped former and current coaches who either student taught under him or coach with him. These coaches are included but not limited: Coach Jim Miller, Coach Paul Gonzalez, Coach Mark Lopez, Coach Tim Bravo, just to name a few. He's married to Margie for 42 years. They have 6 children: Brian, Kelly, Lance, Michael, Tina, and Melissa. 9 grandchildren: Jessica, Connor, Christopher, Brandon, Jackson, Aaron, Tommy, Jack, and Brittany. And on this evening, July 17th, 2018, during the Major League All-Star Game, it is my pleasure to dedicate the Las Cruces High School baseball field after an All-Star coach and person, Coach Dave Graham. I'd like to also thank Coach Venegas, Jeff Venegas, for doing this sign for me. Did a great job, as you can see. Thank you.
Good job, Jeff.
Good job, Jeff.
You want the microphone? You want the microphone? Good?
Come on, Coach. Two words.
He looks me in the face and says, never. I didn't say anything. I said, okay. Well, it took us a few years to get it started. So in '71, we started the baseball program at Mayfield. And Dave comes over and says, I got to get together and talk to you. So we started talking about baseball and the district. And although the rivalry at Las Cruces and Mayfield has been sky high, I thought we got along pretty well with each other. He would bring me scouting reports. We both tried to gang up on Alamogordo. We didn't like Alamogordo. Sometimes we tried to gang up against Gadsden, but they were okay. They were down here in the valley with us, but Alamogordo we just despised. Yeah, but he'd bring over scouting reports and talk about who would do this and what to do there. But Dave took me under his wing and just taught me what it was all about. And Dave, I thank you for this. One night, though, Rick comes back to one night, must have been probably 81 a year. I had a pretty good team that year. He was home team that game. And I don't know if we had to win both games to go to the state tournament or something. But anyway, he flips me over a baseball for my pitcher. And I looked at it and I felt it, and it was real cold. I said, "Graham, did you freeze the baseballs on me tonight?" He sort of laughed. I think he just froze one ball just to get me riled up. But Dave, I enjoyed the times I had with you. Enjoyed the times we used to sit up and I pull out the park, drinking beer and raising hell after the invitational tournament. We'd be the last ones gone with Clark and the guys. Remember those days? Anyway, congratulations, and you had a great run, buddy. Love you.
Anybody else?
I think they coached one of the last.
His assistant in 83, 82, 81, 81. That's what it was, yeah.
They did.
Yeah, he wanted me to shag balls for us, what it was.
Congratulations, Coach. So I played for Coach Graham in '89. I tried to play '87, '88, '89, but typically I was ineligible. And Coach pushed me really hard. He basically laid the foundation because he made me realize one thing: you're only as good as your team. And he basically, my junior year, I had a good enough year to probably play varsity, but he said, "Nope, you're going to sit down one more year." So he really made me chomp at the bit, and he gave me an opportunity to play college baseball, which I didn't do nothing with. Imagine that, guys. But Coach really, he just dangled that carrot in front of me, made me be a better person, made me work really hard, and I appreciate you for that, Coach, because you really made me a better player, because you made me realize that an individual doesn't work in the game of baseball. You got to be a teamwork. So I thank you for that. Love you, Coach. Still in
No.
Called her up.
Anybody else?
I just know that whenever I wanted the truck on Friday morning, I was gone because it was over here dragging the feet. And that was 3 trucks.
That's all I got. You got something here?
I might as well say something.
Come on, say something.
I just, I'm Gary Sola. I used to be the baseball coach here from 93 to 99. And I was assistant coach over at Mayfield. I was rooted by Mr. Ogas and Pete Goulet over there across town. And I tell you what, guys, these 2 men right here have paved the way for the rest of us. They're the baseball icons in this community, and I'm very, very fortunate to be part of this, and very thankful to them for what they've done for me personally. You know, not only as a coach, but as a man. And I thank you for that, guys, for what you've done. Coach Graham, thank you for what you've done for me here at Cruces High when we were PE teachers together. You know, had a lot of fun. And that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say thank you. You know, we've got a lot of camaraderie because of this. And once again, thank you, guys. Love you. Thank you.
My name is Jeff Benegas, and I'm a Mayfield Trojan baseball player, coach. I've never seen this much blue in my life. I'm surrounded by blue. But it's a good thing. Gil contacted me he commissioned us to do this sign. And it was really tough, but putting everything aside, we put our best foot forward. I hope you guys like it. We really, just being a baseball guy amongst baseball people, I've got stories like Nick, Coach Ogas, for me, was just like Dave Graham for all you guys, but knowing that he tutored or mentored or hung out with Coach Ogas was a big deal, because back then we kind of looked like really, they were like, if you love baseball, these were the men that made it happen to us, for us. And there was some rocky times and some good times, but I remember my parents, I didn't have the experience with Dave, but with Coach Ogas, our parents entrusted us to them fully and totally, I mean, to the max. So they made young men into real men with what they taught. And I hope you all as parents and as a baseball coach, past baseball coach, and the coaches that you've had, I hope that we were able to rub off a little bit on your sons and daughters and everybody else involved in baseball, because we love the game unconditionally, and we love the kids that play for us. And it's these guys that taught us how to carry on the tradition and the love of the game and teach it to your sons for generations to come. And I think this is the coolest showing. I've been one to similar things for my father-in-law, Coach Bradley, which was mentioned tonight. And he was a Bulldog and a state champion Bulldog. And at the end of the day, it really isn't about the the blue and white, blue and red, and the green and gold, and the whatever other colors are in the city. It's more about your young ones. You know, it's really more about them than it is about the colors, because at the end of the day, baseball is it's kind of a gentleman game. I shake hands with guys that I've coached that wear red and blue during the season, wear silver and black and red and yellow. We like to win, but we also like to see people perform. Baseball is one of those games where I don't care how much you yell for your kid, they can only do what they do. And the game plays itself, and as long as you can respect the game and love the game, the best team on the field that day will win. And I think you can take that to everything you do in this world. The best person and everything will win. The hardest worker, just the best that day will win. And then guess what? You wake up the next day, and it's a new day. You get to play baseball again. You get to put that uniform on again, and that's what they let me do for all the years I played. They let me put that uniform on one more time every day. 0 for 4 yesterday, 3 for 3 the next day. It's a good luck. It's a good life. You know, but it's that game. It's that game, and these people understood that, and they said, hey, it's okay. You struck out 3 times a day, but guess what? You're in the lineup again. You got a chance to do it all over again, and that's life. You get up every morning, it's a clean slate, especially baseball. It's a clean slate. Get up, do it again.
I'm still weak, Coach.
All right, sir.
My name is David Ferro. I'm blessed to be from the village of Tortugas. In the village of Tortugas, they tell you that when you start out as a little tree. Well, when I was growing up, I was like a vine. I was all over the place. And this young man here started clipping and trimming and gave me the basis to be a good tree. I knew Coach Graham. Actually, he started at Monsieur Park Elementary, where he did his practice teaching. We were the Monsieur Park Jets. We were 4'4" little Tortugueños running all over the place, and he put some order to our basketball team, and we did pretty good in the city. Then he goes on to Lynn, and I follow him to Lynn. Get there, and there's Coach Graham again. I said, oh man, he's going to do some more trimming on the tree, and he did. Then I followed him here to Cruces High, where I played baseball for him, played basketball also, and all that time, he was trimming on the tree. He was giving me inspiration, because while my father was giving inspiration, Coach Graham has given me a broader look on life. And I think what I am today is due in large part to Coach Graham and the guidance that he gave me growing up as an athlete here at Las Cruces High. And it's something that I carry with me all the time. I call him up all the time and razz him about his St. Louis Cardinals. They're still bad. And he gave me a hard time because I'm a Yankee fan. But I want to tell everyone that what I am today, I owe almost entirely to Coach Graham. Thank you.